Imagine watching the fairy tale of Hollywood's most glamorous couple crumble in front of your eyes. Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, Kim Kardashian and Kanye West, Prince Charles and Princess Diana. These breakups didn't just end relationships, they shook industries, captivated millions, and left fans utterly heartbroken. And if you think you know heartbreak, wait until you hear how Shakira's breakup turned into a global music event, or how Justin Trudeau's separation became a historic political moment. By the end of this video, you'll be seeing heartbreak on a scale few could imagine. Some of it glamorous, some of it shocking, all of it unforgettable. Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. In September 2016, the world stopped. Angelina Jolie, one half of the Hollywood power couple, famously dubbed Brangelina, filed for divorce from Brad Pitt. Fans were stunned, not just because the couple had seemed inseparable for over a decade, but because the split came in the shadow of an incident on a private jet that made headlines worldwide. Reports alleged a confrontation between Pitt and one of their children during a flight, prompting the FBI and Child Services to investigate. Though no charges were filed, the fallout set the tone for what would become one of the most public and protracted celebrity divorces of the century. What followed quickly spiraled into what tabloids later called the War of the Rosé. In 2021, Angelina sold her stake in Chateau Miraval, their famed French vineyard, to a company affiliated with Stoli Group. Brad immediately sued, attempting to reverse the sale, arguing he had the right of first refusal. Court documents revealed Jolie's allegations surrounding that infamous jet flight, allegations Pitt strongly denied. Meanwhile, the saga included battles over custody of their 6 children, division of property, and dozens of non-disclosure agreements, making every legal filing fodder for endless media coverage. Even years later, the litigation surrounding the vineyard, estate finances, and confidential agreements continues to surface, keeping fans invested in a drama that never truly ends. Brangelina wasn't just a couple, they were a brand, a cultural phenomenon. Millions had followed their romance, their humanitarian work, and their seemingly perfect family life. Fans didn't just watch a love story end, they witnessed a fairy tale transform into an ongoing saga of legal maneuvering, allegations, and heartbreak. Every revelation, every headline felt personal, like losing part of a story they had grown up with. A vineyard marketed as a sanctuary of love and creativity became a courtroom battleground. A romance that had once epitomized Hollywood glamour was now defined by lawsuits and public scrutiny. Who could have predicted that the couple's paradise would become the stage for a decades-long dispute? If you thought Brangelina's story was dramatic, buckle up. Next, we leave wine and courtrooms behind and dive straight into an Instagram-fueled breakup that shook the internet like never before. Kim Kardashian and Kanye West, YE. In 2021, Kim Kardashian filed for divorce from Kanye West, marking the end of a decade-long relationship that had captivated the world. By March 2022, she was legally single, and the settlement finalized the division of one of pop culture's most famous marriages. The agreement included $200,000 per month in child support, joint custody of their 4 children, and a crystallization of a decade's worth of public attention. Every Instagram post, tweet, and court filing was scrutinized, dissected, and turned into headlines. Fans weren't just witnessing a breakup, they were living it, frame by frame, like a real-life drama unfolding on an endless loop. Kanye, now legally known as Ye, didn't hold back. Social media became a war zone, with posts targeting Kardashian, Pete Davidson, and even Trevor Noah. His sometimes erratic online behavior led to platform restrictions for harassment and hate speech. Music videos dropped as pointed messages, Instagram stories became indirect court filings, and every legal milestone was amplified across the internet. Fans couldn't look away. It was a spectacle that featured entertainment, obsession, and heartbreak in equal measure. From public court appearances to cryptic lyrics, every development added another layer of tension and chaos. Kimmy wasn't just a celebrity couple. They were a cultural force. Over a decade, They blurred reality TV, fashion, and music into a single, inescapable story. Their fans weren't just following a relationship, they were actively invested in it. The breakup forced them to pick sides, watch co-parenting unfold under unrelenting public scrutiny, and feel the intensity of a romance gone wrong at a scale few relationships ever reach. $200,000 per month in child support, paid under the unblinking eye of global media, while every text, post, and Instagram story became fodder for viral discussion. It's the kind of breakup most people can't even imagine, where love, fame, and fortune collide in real time. If you thought watching Kimi crumble was wild, wait until you see what happens when $145 billion and philanthropy collide in a marriage meltdown. And hey, if you're glued to this story so far, smash that like button. It's your ticket to staying in the loop as we dive into the next jaw-dropping celebrity split. Bill and Melinda French Gates. After 27 years together, Bill and Melinda French Gates shocked the world on May 3rd, 2021, by announcing their divorce. What made this more than just another high-profile split? The Gateses weren't just a couple, they were a global power duo. Did you know that within days of the announcement, Cascade Investment, the Gates family investment firm, transferred roughly $1.8 billion in stock to Melinda? That single transaction was a tantalizing first glimpse into how one of the world's largest fortunes, valued at around $145 billion, would begin to be divided. And just like that, a story that had long been about shared vision and global philanthropy turned into a saga of personal and financial unraveling. Unlike the celebrity divorces splashed across tabloids, the Gates divorce was a mix of quiet strategy and explosive speculation. Coverage wasn't just about billions changing hands. It also spotlighted Bill Gates' previous associations, including reported ties to Jeffrey Epstein. This added layers of intrigue and public scrutiny to an otherwise private process. The Gateses, however, kept much of the personal details confidential, signaling that while the headlines were sensational, the couple aimed to maintain dignity amid a media storm. Yet every financial move, every public statement, every legal detail became newsworthy, showing just how difficult it is to separate a life built on global influence. Bill and Melinda Gates weren't only partners in life, they were partners in a philanthropic revolution. The Gates Foundation's work touched millions worldwide, from health initiatives to education and climate programs. Fans, supporters, and beneficiaries alike wondered, would the split affect the foundation? Could the world's largest charitable endeavors survive a marriage ending? The divorce turned an inspiring partnership into a moment of uncertainty for people who had invested emotionally in the Gates legacy. A $1.8 billion transferred in days. A philanthropic empire suddenly facing a breakup. Wealth and goodwill collided in a way most of us can't even imagine, proving that even the most powerful duos aren't immune to heartbreak. Oh, you thought billion-dollar divorces were intense? Brace yourself. Next, we're exploring the heartbreak that literally stopped the world. The royal drama of Prince Charles and Princess Diana. Princess Charles and Princess Diana. On December 9th, 1992, the world learned that the fairy tale had ended. Prince Charles and Princess Diana were separating. The announcement, delivered in the British Parliament by Prime Minister John Major, was formal, precise, and historically monumental. A few years later, on August 28, 1996, the divorce was finalized, ending a marriage that had been in the global spotlight from day one. For decades, the public had followed every twist of their love story, from the grand wedding in 1981, watched by millions worldwide, to the subtle cracks that slowly began to show in their union. This wasn't just another celebrity breakup, it was a royal rupture, with the world watching every public step. What made this split unforgettable was not only the separation itself, but the way the story unfolded. In 1995, Princess Diana gave her legendary BBC Panorama interview, famously declaring, "There were three of us in this marriage." The admission of infidelity by Prince Charles sent shockwaves around the globe. Suddenly, the public had a window into the intimate collapse of a royal marriage that had previously seemed untouchable. Media coverage exploded. Headlines, analysis, and speculation filled newspapers, television, and radio across continents. Every detail of Diana and Charles's lives, from private grievances to public appearances, became part of a narrative that gripped millions. This wasn't just a divorce, it was the crown itself under scrutiny. Diana, the people's princess, had captivated hearts worldwide with her warmth, compassion, and elegance. The fairy tale wedding, which once seemed like a dream come true, was now a cautionary tale of infidelity, relentless media scrutiny, and personal heartbreak. Fans weren't merely curious, they were emotionally invested. The heartbreak of a future king and a beloved princess became a global story that people felt in their own homes, as though the collapse of their love reflected a universal fragility. Millions of viewers watched live as one of the world's most iconic marriages unraveled. A monarchy in crisis, televised heartbreak, and the shattering of a global fairy tale. It was heartbreak on an unprecedented scale. If royal heartbreak could move the world, imagine the private lives of pop stars suddenly made public. Our next story proves that even the most discreet relationships can shock fans. Taylor Swift and Joe Alwyn. In April 2023, the world learned that Taylor Swift and Joe Alwyn had ended their 6-year relationship. Unlike many high-profile celebrity breakups, this one came out of nowhere because Swift and Alwyn had mastered the art of privacy. Their romance had been a carefully guarded secret, a contrast to the performative relationships often splashed across tabloids. For fans who had followed Swift's career for over a decade, from Fearless to the Eras Tour, this announcement was seismic. The news didn't just register as a celebrity split. It felt like the curtain had been pulled back on a part of Swift's life that had previously been untouchable. What made this breakup especially fascinating was how fans combed through every possible clue. Die-hard Swifties dissected Eras Tour setlists, analyzing songs and stage banter for hidden meanings. They revisited lyrics co-written by Alwyn, who had contributed under the pseudonym William Bowery, turning ordinary tracks into cryptic diaries of love and heartbreak. Social media became a treasure map of speculation. Every look, every tweet, every subtle lyric hinting at the state of their relationship. The coverage wasn't sensationalized gossip, it was a meticulous reconstruction of a private romance suddenly made public, leaving fans feeling like they were piecing together a puzzle that Swift herself had written. This was not just another celebrity breakup, it was an intimate glimpse into one of the most private chapters of Swift's life. For 6 years, fans had invested emotionally in the quiet love story that had fueled songs, inspired performances, and colored the imagination of millions. The sudden announcement felt like an emotional betrayal, not because Swift had done anything wrong, but because the secrecy had created a bond of trust between her and her fans. A bond that heartbreak had now exposed. 6 years of careful privacy, a relationship once invisible to the public eye, suddenly thrown into the spotlight. For Swifties, heartbreak had gone from private lyrics to global headlines. A reminder that even the most guarded love stories can end in public shock. And if a pop breakup can break hearts worldwide, nothing compares to the next story, where music, football, and a billion-dollar empire collide in a cultural shockwave that had the world watching in disbelief. Shakira and Gerard Piqué. In June 2022, Shakira and Gerard Piqué announced their separation, ending over a decade-long relationship that had begun in the limelight of football and music. The couple eventually reached a custody agreement, allowing Shakira to relocate to Miami with their 2 children. For fans, it was shocking. The image of the global pop star and the football champion had always seemed untouchable, almost storybook perfect. Shakira turned personal heartbreak into global headlines. She channeled the pain into music, releasing the viral diss track BZRP Music Sessions Volume, 53 inches, in collaboration with Bizarrap. The song shattered records, becoming the most viewed Latin track on YouTube within 24 hours and the fastest to reach 100 million views. Every lyric, every verse, was dissected by fans and media alike, making the breakup not just a private event, but a global spectacle. Social media buzzed with interpretations, memes, and emotional reactions, amplifying the drama to unprecedented levels. Fans had invested years in their romance. They had watched the couple's love story unfold across stadiums, red carpets, and intimate glimpses in the media. Suddenly, that story exploded into a worldwide cultural phenomenon, a heartbreak broadcast in real time, set to a record-breaking soundtrack. From the world stage to political power, heartbreak isn't just private. It can make history. Next, we dive into a split that shook an entire nation, a royal divorce with global consequences. Justin Trudeau and Sophie Gregoire Trudeau. On August 2nd, 2023, Canada's Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, and Sophie Gregoire Trudeau announced their separation via simultaneous Instagram posts. They described the decision as the result of many meaningful and difficult conversations, signaling the end of a marriage that had been under public scrutiny for years. Unlike typical celebrity splits, this one blended politics, family, and national attention. The Prime Minister's office confirmed a legal separation agreement and emphasized that co-parenting for their 3 children would continue smoothly. What caught global attention was how they handled it. Despite the separation, the couple even vacationed together the following week, presenting a united front in a way almost unheard of for high-profile figures. Every move, statements, family appearances, and official confirmations was analyzed and dissected by the media. Canadians and international audiences watched closely, fascinated by a split that blended transparency, civility, and the rare human side of political life. For many, the Trudeaus weren't just a political power couple. They were an emblem of modern Canadian life, balancing politics, parenting, and public presence. Fans felt a personal connection, investing emotionally in the family's narrative. Seeing them navigate heartbreak in real time made the situation both relatable and historically significant. From fairy tales and billionaires to pop stars and politics, these stories prove one thing. Celebrity heartbreak isn't just gossip. It reaches fans in ways that surprise, move, and sometimes shock the world. We've seen marriages collapse under the glare of cameras, fortunes shift in mere days, private love stories turn into viral phenomena, and even the highest offices of power navigated separation on the world stage. Every split, whether whispered in secrecy or broadcast across media outlets, reminds us that fame magnifies love and heartbreak into something almost mythic. And here's the thing, while each story is unique, one pattern emerges again and again. Fans don't just observe, they feel it, they debate it, dissect it, and sometimes carry that heartbreak with them, as if the celebrity's loss echoes in their own lives. In every Brangelina dispute, Kimye showdown, Gates divorce, royal scandal, Swift Alwyn split, Shakira Piqué shockwave, or Trudeau announcement, the common thread is unmistakable. Public love, when it falls apart, becomes a shared, almost collective experience. But just when you think you've seen heartbreak on every possible scale, the next chapter is waiting, and it's even more shocking. Up next, celebrity scandals that broke the internet. You won't believe number.